Yes, I believe you
Yes.
started right now. Okay, great. So I'd like to welcome our attendees, SPWLA committee, and our tutor for our third webinar for 2025. And I'd like to wish Ramadan Kareem for all our fasting attendees. This lecture will be about petrophysical data analytics and visualization utilizing Spotfire software, presented by Mr. Atheer Al-Attar. He's a principal data scientist with Spotfire company, holding bachelor degree in mechanical engineering, master degree in petroleum engineering from Louisiana State University. Mr. Atheer, yes, and master degree in computer and data science from Georgia Tech. Sorry,
Yes. Energetic.
yes, Georgia Tech University. Mr. Atheer will present himself later, more precisely, and I'll keep the mic for Dr. Mohammed.
Yes, Mr. Mazen. Hello, everyone. I'm thrilled to welcome you and have you join the SPWLA Iraq chapter today. My name is Muhammad Jawad Zainul Abidin, and a senior faculty member in the Department of the Petroleum Engineering at the College of Engineering, University of Kirkuk, and I am VP of Technology at the SPWLA Iraq chapter. Today is the 7th of March 2025 and the third webinar with the SPWLA Iraq chapter titled Petrophysical Data Analytics and Visualization Utilizing Spotfire software will be presented by our speaker, Mr. Atheer Al-Attar. Welcome again, Mr. Atheer Al-Attar. Dear attendees, kindly close your cam and mic during the webinar. If you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat box. The lecturer will address them during the Q&A segment at the end of the webinar. Additionally, please note that during the presentation, we will share a link in the chat box to join the SPWLA Iraq chapter on LinkedIn. Thank you. Mr. Mazen, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammed. So I'll just make like 1-2 minute presentation about 2025 SPWLA activities. Uh, you can see my screen at this very moment.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So it is in full screen mode.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Because actually I cannot see the sharing. So our this year 2025 theme will be all focused on artificial intelligence subject in on petrophysical domain. This is our third webinar. All our webinar is recorded on YouTube and published on social media, YouTube and LinkedIn, and sent by email for the attendees. This lecture will be led by Mr. Atheer Al-Attar. He's lead the data scientist with Spotfire. Uh, okay, so we expect to do 10 webinar this year. Hopefully, we success to manage this third one. Next month will be with Baker Hughes about wireline LW and petrophysical automation and machine learning solution in April, and so on. And I'd like to thank all our sponsors for this year. As usual, for any attendees that attend more than 6 webinars, will get a special certificate called the Super Learner. And we really appreciate if you can join our Iraq chapter officially through SPWLA organization. Thank you. Question and answer will be kept at the end of lecture. Thank you all, and the floor is yours, Mr. Atheer. You can start.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. Yes. Right now, yes. It is in full screen mode.
All right. Well, thank you so much, SPWLA Iraq, Mr. Mazin, and Dr. Muhammad for the invitation. I'm Atheer Al-Attar. I'm a principal data scientist at Spotfire. I have some background in and experience in petroleum engineering. As a petroleum engineer, I was also lucky enough to work with people like Mazen back in the day in Baker Hughes. It was a lot of fun. Right now, I work with all of the oil and gas clients for Spotfire to help them solve their day-to-day challenges when it comes to data in oil and gas. That includes anything in upstream, midstream, and downstream. Today's lecture is using Spotfire and Petrophysical data analytics. And then what I wanted to, let's say, achieve maybe after this lecture is to show you what you can do with Spotfire, what is possible, and then what is after that is left for your imagination. So we know that every single one of you has, let's say, a different workflow when it comes to, let's say, the daily tasks dealing with data, whether it's like petrophysics or any other area. We're not doing, let's say, the same thing at work. So I don't want to, let's say, focus on one workflow, but I wanted to show you what you can do with Spotfire. Then you can take that knowledge and think how you can reflect that on what you are doing. Okay. This is our disclaimer. So it's basically, do not make any purchasing decisions based on this presentation. That's all what it says. And then this is our agenda to today. So I'm going to talk about Spotfire in general. What's Spotfire for people who are not familiar with Spotfire? Why do we use Spotfire in petrophysics or like in general in oil and gas? What are the reasons? And then we will also show a couple of real life examples. So in Spotfire, we have the concept of visual data analytics. So what you can see is on the left, you have, let's say, the specialist that has a lot of, let's say, complex tools. Let's say in your daily work, you have a lot of software and tools that only maybe one or two persons can use them. And then that's because the tool is very complex, and then maybe engineers, they don't have time to like learn that tool. So they usually have one or two persons who are like very good at this tool, and then people will come to these people for help. And then in the middle, or let's say on the very right, we have the statistics tools. So these are, let's say, mathematical tools that needs a lot of experience or maybe even academic training for people to work with them, and also for people to kind of like safely use the results from these tools. Spotfire comes in the middle. We are a visual data science platform. So we let's say that the goal is to use Spotfire by every end user, whether it's an engineer or maybe let's say a technician at a let's say a facility might be able to also use what you create with Spotfire. So it can be used by almost anyone. It's interactive. It can be, let's say, what you create, it can be shared. And also the goal is to contain all your data science journey from end to end, like starting from getting the data all the way to the reporting stage. Now, where you can find us in oil and gas. So basically, first of all, Spotfire is not a tool for oil and gas only. It's a platform that can be found in all the industries. And if you go to our website, you can see use cases from all the verticals. You can see use cases from finance, from health, data, life science, security, plus the energy. So we are, let's say, a vertical agnostic platform, but it can be very easy with all of our components, with all of our functionalities and visualization modes. You can highly customize that to your vertical, as we will see. So you can find us almost everywhere, from the exploration stage all the way to the market. You can find use cases and then uses of Spotfire here. Now, why do we use Spotfire in oil and gas, or maybe specific to today's subject, why Spotfire in petrophysics? There are a lot of reasons, but let me summarize maybe in some of the main reasons. The first one is data integration and visualization. You know that and if you worked in petrophysics or even in oil and gas in general, data comes from many sources. You get data from, let's say, wireline department. You get data from drilling. You get historical disparate data that lives somewhere in someone else's Excel sheet. You get data, let's say, that is not digitized yet. For example, very old historical reports that are not scanned yet. So being able to involve all these data sources easily in one place, that can save you a lot of time. It can save the engineers a lot of effort, and also give them an opportunity to focus on other critical tasks instead of collecting these data sources and trying to put them all together. And then in Spotfire, we have a lot of data connectors that enable you to bring data from almost anywhere, whether it's like an Excel file, text file, whether it's like a cloud file, a streaming data. You can do all of that. The second reason is advanced analytics. Spotfire comes preloaded with a lot of analytics functionalities. You can do modeling, machine learning, you can do data cleansing. You can even write your data functions either in Python or in R if something that you were looking for is not there. The collaboration and sharing. So being able to share what you're creating with the rest of the team is very important, because it doesn't make any sense if you create something that others cannot access it or use it or make use of it. So in Spotfire, you can work collaboratively on your project. You can also share your project with other team members, and then they can interact with it. You can also share your project as, let's say, a web view. So people, they don't need to install Spotfire. They can just open that from their Chrome browser and interact with it. And also reporting and automation. So let's say, for example, you work on a drilling rig, and then you need to send your status report, or like your daily drilling report, every day to list of emails. And then you need to kind of like tell them, okay, we're at this depth. This is what we did last night, or like the last 24 hours. These are the issues that we have faced. You can automate all of that. So Spotfire will prepare the PDF report, input all this data, and then send it to you. So these are like some of the many reasons why you can go with Spotfire in oil and gas. And then just for your information, 9 of the 10 top global oil and gas companies, they use Spotfire in their daily operations. So I'm going to walk you through some of the example use cases, and then how we kind of tackle that challenge using Spotfire. So this is one of the use cases that we needed to oversee the completion operations data, or like the completion operations daily data. And we wanted to see that in a live, or like in real-time style. So the challenge was, these are all mission critical information, where like any minor issue that can have significant repercussion, any non-productive time is nothing like it's nothing like you want, or like one of the biggest challenges. So any, let's say, unscheduled shutdown will result in losing a lot of money. How we tackle that, or like how did we kind of like solve this problem using Spotfire? So with Spotfire, the engineers can tap into a wide range of data sources. They can see, let's say, what is happening right now in the rig. Let's say, what is the current depth? What is the set, let's say, plug type? What are the perforations right now? What is the plan for the next 24 hours? They can also share all that information with the crew, and they can also, let's say, interact with the current crew if they see anything that let's say suspicious or like needs to be kind of addressed. So it's kind of like a they're not disturbing the current operation. So the crew is out there working in the rig, inputting information, but there's also like another crew back in the office looking at the data, at the operations data in real time, and then trying to kind of see if there's any anomaly or let's say anything that needs to be addressed. Okay, so let's see. This is another use case. We're basically looking at the component behavior or the equipment behavior, or maybe this, yeah, maybe this is will be even more relevant to people in oil and gas. So this is an ESP monitor, the electrical submersible pumps, in fields like the fields that we have in Iraq. You have a lot of installed ESPs, and then the process of monitoring all these ESPs and then making sure that all of them are performing, let's say, normally, and then making sure also to be proactive if anything or if any of these ESPs is kind of like experiencing or showing unexpected behavior is very important, because that will prevent your downtime and that will save you a lot of money if you are able to like react ahead of time. So you need something that monitors all this field in real time, and also tells you ahead of time that, hey, this is something like I've never seen before, this is like an abnormal behavior, you need to react. So the way that we implement that, we used Spotfire, and we also used live data from the field for the ESPs, where you can see all your ESPs live, and then you can set up like an indicator, so you can see like the red ones here, some like these are the ESPs are showing like unexpected behavior. You can also set your alarms. For example, you want to watch the pressure, or like you want to watch the current, the frequency of the ESP, or maybe the vibration. And then according to that, you send, let's say, a notification email to the closest engineer in charge that you need to go, for example, to well A to check the ESP. So in this case, you not only, let's say, reacted proactively, but you also saved a lot of time and crew efforts. Okay, so I will show some of the Spotfire capabilities in general, and then yeah, we will move to a real life example. Okay. Yeah, so in Spotfire we have the Spotfire analyst, is where people okay, so yeah, I've seen a couple of questions. I will get to them. I'll get to them by the end of the lecture. Spotfire has a couple of components. You have the Spotfire analyst, where, let's say, people who create the dashboards will go to, and then create a dashboard, connect to the data, and then put the visualizations and do all the logic. And then you have Spotfire consumers. So those are the people who, let's say, don't want to get into all of this. They just want to use what you have created through a web player, or like through the Chrome browser, for example. And then you also, at the back end, you have the let's say, the Spotfire server. It's like where you implement all of these services or nodes, and then you can implement these services that you need. Now, in the area of data science, we have a lot of components and innovation here. You can see a lot of, let's say, industry-specific visualizations. You can see a lot of functionalities when it comes to writing data functions, programming. As we said, if something is not available, you can always write a Python script inside Spotfire to achieve that. This is how the, let's say, the architecture, this is maybe more kind of like in-depth for the information technology people, but this is basically the Spotfire server, and then this is where the user access the services, and then you can also have R and Python programming. You can, okay, so this is, yeah. And then the deployment options, you can deploy anywhere. So what I mean by deployment options is like, how do you implement Spotfire in your organization? You can do that, let's say, on-prem, like you can do that physically on your servers on site, or you can also deploy that on the cloud and access that. So we have a lot of options when it comes to deploying Spotfire. In terms of data sources, as we mentioned, and maybe that addresses the question that asks, how do we collect some of the data sources? Some of the data sources. So we can connect to almost everything when it comes to data. That can be like databases, cloud data, Excel files, data streams, warehouse lakes, and also if you have like for example, if you have a data set of core photos, for example, you can also point Spotfire to that data set and then bring them to Spotfire. This is another example of also ESP monitoring, where you basically monitor the current, the frequency, the pressure behavior, and also the location of that ESP, and then you kind of like show an alarm if anything happens with the like anything wrong happens with the ESP. This is another example of monitoring historical data. So you can basically process the data as they come, and so if you have, let's say if you're drilling like for the last 24 hours, and then you had an issue happen, and then the next day crew came in, and then they want to exactly see what were the, let's say, what were the conditions before that issue happened. You can look at, let's say, a data replay, where you simply replay all the events at last night. So see here, we're replaying all the, let's say, the data from last night, just to see if there is anything happened before that problem, or like there's any indicator happened before that problem. So it's kind of a way to use the historical data and then get information and insights from. Now, when it comes to artificial intelligence and AI in Spotfire, we have the Spotfire Copilot. It's basically like today's large language models, ChatGPT and others. You can use them inside Spotfire to help you achieve all your, let's say, tasks by just simply writing, let's say, a natural language prompt. So this is an example here. So with the Copilot, you can simply just write, visualize this variable, and then like put the X and Y on this, put the X and Y, or assign them to these variables, and then you simply get a button or like a thumbnail that prepares all that visuals for you, and all you need is to kind of like bring it to Spotfire and then configure that. And you can also, like with the Copilot, you can also analyze what you have. So for example, if you have a visualization for a drilling process or like a petrophysical analysis, you can ask the Copilot to analyze that for you, and it will give you insights if it sees like any outlier there or like any unexpected behaviors. You can see that you have a full summary on what you're seeing here. And then you can also ask something specific. For example, we're asking here about a specific measure in manufacturing, and then you will get a response for that. And then more importantly, you can customize the Copilot to your document. So for example, if you have, let's say, set of drilling reports that, let's say, specific to your company, and then you want the Copilot inside Spotfire to only look into these. So for example, you want to ask, what was the drill depth for well A on date, for example, 1991, the first day of the month? Then the Copilot will go to that specific report and then get you the answer from. And then you can see here, these citations at the end, it's basically the Copilot telling you where did it get the information from. And this is an example of the many connectors that we have in Spotfire that you can connect to. So it depends on where your data is. We can connect to it as long as it's, let's say, somewhere. We can simply connect to almost anything. And even if it's not, you can always extend Spotfire by writing your custom connector using Python programming or any other way of extending Spotfire. So that's one of the nice also features in Spotfire is you have a lot of freedom to customize, and then you have a lot of freedom to let's say add features that are not there. So if, let's say, a visualization is not there, then you can simply write a data function, write a visualization mod to add it. If, let's say, if a data function is not there, you can simply just program that. And then that will bring us to our visualization mods. So these are like a collection of visualizations. Some of them are very specific to industry. You can see this one here, very specific to energy. These can be, let's say, customized and can be created by the user if anything is not there. Moreover, we have a very active community. So, I mean, a lot of people, when they use a new tool, maybe the first question they ask, where do I go if I need help? In Spotfire, we have a lot of channels that we can help you through. We have a very active community. We have a support email. You can simply just send an email. We have monthly sessions. They're called Dr. Spotfire, where you can simply just join us. We talk about a lot of subjects, and this is also one of the examples. Okay, so I will I will open the, let's say, the real Spotfire and maybe walk you through an example use case of oil and gas. So let's say that we have a data set that is here. This is, let me see. So this is Kansas Geological Survey. It's let's say Kansas Geological Survey. So this is a Kansas Geological Survey. It's a website that has a lot of last files and well log files. And then we're trying to kind of like bring a well log from here and maybe visualize it in Spotfire. Now we all know that the well logs we cannot, I mean, in let's say, in programs like Spotfire, we cannot directly consume the well log, because this is how the well log look like. You have this whole section here. You need to kind of like somehow process that before you are able to deal with this tabular data. Now, this is an issue. So how do we do that? Let's say you're new to Spotfire, and then let's open a new tab here. You're new to Spotfire, and then you were given this well log, and then you were told, okay, we need you to visualize this in Spotfire. So the first thing that we can do is we can use the Copilot. As we said, Copilot is a large language model inside Spotfire. You can use it to get help doing things in Spotfire. So we can simply write, for example, write a data function that reads a last file from URL and use Python package to process the file. And maybe and then let's say if we want to calculate the V shell, we can simply ask and calculate the V shell. Let's say we want to also smooth the gamma ray. Let's say our gamma ray readings are like very kind of like rough, and then we want to smooth it. Let's say and smooth the gamma ray. And we send this to the Copilot. So the Copilot will take this and then convert it to a data function that you can use in Spotfire. So see, the response is you get a button that you can click to create a data function, and also you get an explanation of what did the Copilot did. So let's create the data function and see how it looks like. So you click a data function. So it says the data function has been created. Go to File, Manage Trust, and then you trust the file, the function. Let me show you how the data function looks like. So see, the Copilot created the data function and also provided you with a description. And if you can see here that it's all commented and explained, and then also let's see how it calculated the V shell. So you see the V shell is basically the gamma ray minus gamma ray min over gamma ray max minus gamma ray min, and also proceed to smooth the gamma ray. And all you have to do here is just to run this function to get the results. Now, a word of, let's say, advice and maybe a warning when it comes to using these large language models, or either in Spotfire or even outside Spotfire. It's called Copilot, and then there's a reason why it's called Copilot even in Spotfire. So you are still expected to be the pilot. This is just something to help you get to your target faster. So you still need to kind of like take a look at whatever the Copilot creates for you, just to make sure that everything looks right from your domain knowledge perspective. So you are a petroleum engineer, you know, let's say the formula of the V shell, and then you know, let's say how maybe like you have an idea about like how the curve smoothing works. You just need to take a look and make sure that everything is correct. So after we brought the data, we can simply map the variables here, and then run the data function to see if it gets us the results that we need. Okay, so we run the data function, and we can come here. This is another dashboard that has the results, the generated table. So you basically have, let me show you how the output table looks like. So this is the pivoted data frame that resulted from the data function. So you can see Spotfire removed the top parts of the metadata of the last file, and it prepared the table to look in this, let's say, shape. Now, you can use this along with what we call visualization mods to create all these visualizations. So you can simply bring, let's say, your gamma ray, your caliper, and then visualize them here. We also have another set of visualizations here. This is kind of like a 3D view for the reservoir, or like for the formation tops, that shows your formation tops, and also you can see the well trajectories. And then this other visualization, it's called the gun barrel visualization, which is basically a cross section through your reservoir model that shows you the well bore, the well bores kind of like sectional view, so you can tell if you have, let's say, any kind of like possible communication, or any thing that you need to kind of like take care of. And then, so, okay, let's go back and see. And then this is the this is the interface of the Spotfire, and you can start by connecting to your data sources from here. So you can see that we have a lot of connectors that you can simply connect to anything, and then you can visualize your data here, and then you can write your analytics workflows, or let's say any logical workflow that you need here. Now we have also another aspect is called the canvas. It's basically the transformations that you do to your data. So for example, we can see here that we brought the formation data, and then we brought another data sets, the well metadata, and we combined them in one table, and it was the formation data table. So you can, like, whatever you do to your data tables, you can still see that in a historical view. And then also in here, you can see your data functions. So for example, if you have data functions that has a couple of input, couple of outputs, you can see that. So you can see that the smoothing data function that we wrote, it has two inputs, one the table name, one the column name, and it has smooth data table output. So what I'm trying to say is basically all the transformations that you have, you simply can go back and see them in a kind of like an interactive way. So this is kind of like an overview of what you can do in Spotfire. Since we have 15 minutes left, so I will get back to the questions and answers. Hopefully, yeah, we will be able to address them all. Okay, how do you protect this software against hacker, and does it have its own cloud? So we have, yeah, we have like, let's say, a couple of ways of implementations. You can implement Spotfire on your prem, let's say on your physical servers, or you can implement Spotfire on the cloud. You can implement, I mean, on your cloud, whether it's like AWS or Azure, you can deploy it on there. Now, how do you protect that? I think that depends on how protected your environment is. So that's maybe like a question to your security team. But we have a support team that can, like, if you have like further questions regarding this.
Mr. Atheer,
Yep.
Sorry to interrupt you. So right now you finish your lecture, so we reach to Q&A section, I believe.
Yes. Yeah. So
Now,
yeah. So I'm going
okay.
through the first question right now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, the question was how to protect. How do you protect? Yeah. Sorry, I should have said that I started reading the question. So this was the first question actually. Yeah, from Arjuna. Yeah, the question was how to protect the software against hackers, and then does it have its own cloud? So yeah, the first part of the question is, I think it depends on your security measures, like at your environment. And then the second part of the question is, I think no, I mean the deployment we have. Yeah, we can deploy Spotfire on any cloud vendor that we have. Would like to see some specific cases of the process, data gathering, and visualizations for petrophysical data. I hope that I explained that.
I believe you present that already.
Yeah.
I believe you
And then,
present.
for example, how to collect core data and core photos, what to see in Spotfire. Yeah, so for the core photos, it's very similar to what we show. You just need to show Spotfire where the photos are, and then just map Spotfire to this, like to the directory of the photos. And then you can simply just bring them in Spotfire. The reason it's like one of the challenges also, maybe Mazen and Dr. Muhammad know that in oil and gas, it's very difficult to get free data. So that's why we have a lot of sometimes like we have a lot of ideas, but we cannot, let's say, get publicly available data that we can use. So that's like one of the challenges. But to answer your question, yeah, this is very possible in Spotfire. You can,
Yeah, this one I want to actually I write a note about it. So I would like to highlight that Mr. Atheer have extremely excellent gathering for a free database. He make this
Oh yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
post on your LinkedIn. That really appreciated. Thank you so much. Okay, really useful. And he usually update this post from time to time whenever there is a free public database for Vol field, other field, many other data from worldwide. Thank you for this
Yes.
efforts.
Thank you. Yeah, since you brought it up, I shared the link here. Yeah, if you
That would be great. Mm.
yeah, if whenever you see like anything that is not in this data set, simply just send me a text on LinkedIn. I will add it to the data set.
Great
Okay.
effort.
Yep. Can this so a question, also another question from Arjuna, can this software also be used for supply chain, for example, warehousing or maybe procurement? Yes, we have a lot of fire demo. We have a lot of demos on a lot of industries. You can go there. Let me share this link also to the chat so you guys can take a look. This is like some of what we are doing. But yeah, we have a lot of use cases in the supply chain and demand forecasting and all of that, with, let's say, some of them, they're like very kind of like specific visualizations that you can use. So yeah, just to give you an example of where you can find Spotfire, it's like simply you can find it everywhere. This is one of the dashboards that I've worked on and then I've showed. So and also like in this website, you can interact with the demo live. So you can simply just click here and then see what is happening with the data. This is kind of like an explanation to or a completion process. And then you can also use data analytics to further analyze your pressure readings as well. So what we're trying to show here is that what they call it, the art of the possible. What is possible in Spotfire? We think that you are in Spotfire, you are only limited by your imagination. You basically can do like almost anything. Okay. Can you do seismic reading also? Yes, we have a couple of use cases for seismic reading. We did data reduction. Let me see if I can show you maybe something. Community industries, energy. Yeah, so this is also our community website. You can see almost all the Spotfire users asking questions and answering here. Yeah, this should be here. I mean, if you check in the maybe the next days, you will see it here. But basically, we have a lot of use cases in processing seismic data, and then simply like as long as like the data is somewhere there, we can work with it. We can process it. What is the software type you are using in analysis? If you are yeah, Akil, if you joined us maybe late, this is Spotfire. Okay, thank you so much. Yep. Okay, let's see if there are. I used Python and yeah. Okay, then the results. Results. Yeah, so in Spotfire you can use Python inside Spotfire. If let's say if you moving to Spotfire, we're not taking Python from you, so you can still use Python inside Spotfire and customize your data functions. Yeah, as simple as that. How can you? Question from David Martinez. How can I migrate other petrophysical models correlations data that I have in other software, Geolog? That's a very good question. In order to continue developing and integrate petrophysical analysis with Spotfire Copilot software. It depends on how the models are stored in Geolog. Yeah, that's. I mean, I need to know more about like how the models is stored in Geolog. Then we can answer how can we transfer the models from Spotfire to from Geolog to Spotfire. But feel free to reach out to your to my LinkedIn if you want to continue the conversation, or you can simply just email Mr. Mazen or Dr. Muhammad, and we can pick up the conversations from there. This is a very good question, actually. A question from.
Sorry to interrupt. Usually for Geolog, Techlog, okay, there is some kind of like they saved as special database. They have their own format.
Yeah.
So I saw that you present in one of your slides, like there is too many different type of database that you can acquire the data from it. Okay, so maybe this need to be collaboration with Geolog company or Schlumberger company to see how this is done. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or sometimes, I mean, in some of the cases, the let's say the ability is already there. We just need to know where the data is located in for example, in tools like Geolog or so. But yeah, but feel free, to start the conversation with Mr. Mazen and copy me. I will be happy to, take it back to our product team to consider this as like a future enhancement for the program. Does a question from Arjuna? Does Spotfire have free courses? Maybe yes. We have a very large collection of videos on our YouTube channel. You can go there and then just like watch. We have a lot of unique. You will see my face a lot here. And then we also have an educational website. So if you go to Spotfire resources and then learn, you can get started with Spotfire. And then this set of videos, they will kind of like walk you through from the very beginner level to make you like in a kind of like an advanced level.
So just to clarify, I believe there's two people asked this question. So I believe they can back to Spotify or YouTube channel. This is the answer. Oh, okay.
So we have two. So we have YouTube channels, and then we have this getting started. I will share the link to the chat. The getting started also takes you to the YouTube channel, but the thing is, like in here, the videos are kind of like arranged in a way that walks you through from a very beginner level, and then it progresses with the difficulty. Okay. What else?
Somebody who's asking, Ahmed Al-Wad is asking, can we use this software for special logging
processing? It depends what kind of processing.
Yes, I believe you present some kind of let's say, basic processing for VShell. I believe more advanced can be done using Python.
Yeah, you can simply, like, whatever calculations you're doing outside, I don't know, environmental corrections, maybe correlations between curves, similarity analysis, anything, you can simply just write it in Python, do it in Spotfire, and visualize it. Yeah, it depends on, I guess you just need to kind of like clearly define your goals first, and then the rest of the like tasks should be very straightforward. And as I said, for all the attendees, if you have any question, feel free to reach out to Mr. Mazen or Dr. Mohammed, and then we can start.
They can write to us on the SPWLA email, and we can forward this email for yourself. No problem.
Yep.
Oh, okay, no problem. I believe there is no more question. Maybe I have few comments from my side. Okay, that was really informative and fruitful lecture.
Thank you so much.
I can see you present all.
Sorry, Mr. Mazen, I have 2 questions, please.
Yes, go ahead.
Please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Atheer, about your insightful presentation today. So my question: why did you prefer Copilot over ChatGPT or DeepSeek or another?
That's a very good question, actually.
Yes.
So the Copilot. Let me also show you something before I answer you. Copilot, Spotfire, and then that may be like explain the reason why we kind of go with the Copilot. So you can see here that in this picture, I want to like draw your attention here. So the let's say models like ChatGPT, they have, let's say, that general knowledge.
Yes.
But the Copilot is trained specifically for Spotfire. It's also built on the top of ChatGPT of OpenAI, but it's trained for the let's say trained for specifically for Spotfire. So we trained it on, let's say, Spotfire user guide, all the questions and answers, all the let's say the available textbooks for Spotfire, all the videos that we have. So you have kind of like an extra knowledge for that specific subject. When you and then also, most importantly, when you ask a question on Spotfire, you will get the answer, and then you also will get the source, that where is this answer coming from. So why this is important? Because there is a problem with the large language models, is called hallucination. It's basically the model sometimes try to make up stuff that it's like not true, or it's like not there. And then the importance of knowing, or maybe the importance of instructing the Copilot that, hey, if you don't find the answer, do not make up anything. Just tell me I don't know. Or if you find the answer, tell me where did you get this answer from. I mean, in critical jobs like oil and gas or so, you really need to know like where the information, or like where this piece of information is coming from. So that's why we put the Copilot inside, like inside Spotfire. And plus, it also helps you to do things in Spotfire quickly. So for example, if you want to create a visualization in Spotfire, instead of going and clicking these menus, or maybe like if you're just learning Spotfire and you want to do something really quickly, you can simply ask the Copilot, hey, create a visualizations for the gamma ray, and then put the depth on the y-axis, the gamma ray on the x-axis, and then color it with orange. And you can simply just do that. Plus, the last thing is, as I said, if you have, let's say, a collection of documents, and then you want to create a chatbot, or like a Copilot, or like a chatbot or Copilot out of these documents. For example, you have drilling reports that you don't want to kind of like upload them somewhere. You just want to chat with these drilling reports. That you can achieve with the Copilot inside Spotfire.
So I believe like Copilot has been created as agent, like agent specially dedicated for Spotify.
Yes. So if we look here, let me see. So see if there is a couple of modes. You can basically switch the mode. So for example, if you have, let's say you're a drilling contractor and you have a lot of invoices, and then you're looking for a very specific invoice. For example, an invoice at January 1st that was coming from, let's say, vendor A, and you want to find that, you can simply switch to invoices, and then now the Copilot will bring information only from the invoices. It will not go anywhere else. And then that can be generalized for a lot of things. So for example, if you are like a pharmaceutical company, or like if you are so the way that you can kind of like customize that to your need.
Okay, Mr. Atheer. The second question, please. Is there any opportunity for partial collaboration through the university to obtain Spotfire training videos or temporary license for
Good
undergraduate
question.
students to work on their graduation projects?
Yes, we have an academic program. I'm not sure where is it right now, but I know that we have collaboration with other universities here in the US. If you can, either you or Mr. Mazen, just email me after that, and we can pick up the conversation. I would be very happy to help for sure.
Thank you.
And then for the videos, as I said, we don't have like anything paid. Basically, all our content is available out there. I think the certification of Spotfire, maybe you need to kind of like pay a certification fee. I'm not sure. I need to check for that. But basically, if you're learning Spotfire, what we have on our YouTube channel and also on the website should be more than enough for you to like get you up and running. But get in touch with me for the academic program. We can work on that for sure.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammed. So,
last question from Arjuna. What was the thing about the 6 courses that I needed to attend or get special certificate? Oh, that's maybe I guess a question. Yeah.
This is for us actually. What we do each year, for anyone have attended 6 of our webinar, not courses, he will get a special certificate called Super Learner Certificate. Usually 1 or 2 people manage to get this certificate each year, no more than that. Okay,
that's
maybe
really
last year only 3 people. Okay.
No, you guys are doing a great job. So yeah, I really I'm really impressed with the the job that you're doing, Mr. Mazen and Dr. Muhammad. I mean, I follow all your posts on LinkedIn, but I don't get the chance to kind of like comment sometimes. Like a lot of times there, I'm busy. But yeah, you're doing a great job, and then we really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Atheer. So just I have maybe a few comments or not. So regarding this demo license, if somebody want to test the software, use it, is it available? Like there's some kind of demo license to download?
I think you can download it for 30 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I believe many people who maybe test it or use it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And for this Copilot is really amazing how it's been integrated. I saw this functionality with Power BI. Okay, Power BI. Also, you can write it, and I saw you demo something about relation. I believe what's it called? The procedure may be a little bit similar to Power BI. Like you upload the data, then you create the relation for the people that work with Power BI. So it's the same, let's say, methodology. You need to create a relation.
Exactly. That's pretty much all the large language models. What we are doing in Spotfire, we're trying to kind of like create something that is specific to Spotfire. So we train it on, let's say, all the Spotfire knowledge out there to make it easy for the user to get from point A to B. So for example, I mean, instead of kind of like writing, let's say, Python script, running it fails, you can simply ask the Copilot to get you like at least, I mean, the goal here is not to get the function running 100% from the first attempt. But if the Copilot can help me reduce maybe 80% of the effort, that would be great. So that's mainly the idea. And then why it's called Copilot, it's not the pilot. You're still the pilot.
Yeah, this is really amazing, like this integration. I believe you mostly demonstrate that this Spotfire, like you can integrate with Python, and you can use the Python, let's say, parse training to make all this machine learning, and you
Yes.
can then visualize all these data in Spotfire. Okay.
Yep.
As far as I understand, you already show this one, and it can do
Yes.
the machine learning and
Yes.
integration with
So
Python.
yeah, we have so in here in these data functions, you can simply create all your like whatever you write in Python anywhere else, you can do it here, and then you can use the results. So AI, ML, you can do all of that. And then yeah, if you go to like the demo gallery, you can find a lot of applications that we have used AI and ML in them. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Atheer. Okay, that's
Sure.
really appreciated. You come and give us some of your busy time. Okay, that's really
Sure, sure,
appreciated.
sure. Happy to do so.
Okay, and Ramadan Kareem, Eid Mubarak in advance. Okay, it's still early.
Thank you.
And I like to thank our attendees. Any final word, Dr. Mohammed? Mm.
Yes, Mr. Mazen, I would like to thank Mr. Atheer again and about his insightful and informative presentation. And the attendees, thank you for joining us today. I wish you all the best and look forward to welcoming you at our future webinars. Thank you again.
Thank
Thank
you
you, guys.
again. See you next time.
Good
Any
night.
final word, Mr. Atheer, before we conclude?
Well, there's one last question I have from Akil. I really don't want to leave this out.
Atheer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Safe
See
Ajil,
this.
I guess. Yeah.
Safe. Yeah. Safe. What you want to ask?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
So thank you for this very good presentation, Mr. Athir. The question is it like software or like online platform and you provide us with tools and we do the work? Or you guys do like such problem solving services and others, if I understand well.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Yeah. So it's an application that you install on your machine if you want to create in Spotfire. So let's say if you want to create something like these dashboards, so you install the application, and then there's a server. So let's say if you're doing a very complex machine learning problem, you don't want to do all this heavy lifting on your machine. There's a server that does all this heavy lifting for you and then send you back the results. Now, okay, you're done with your dashboard. You want to show all these awesome results that you created to your colleagues or like to someone that can use them. You can simply send them a link to your dashboard. So they open it in, let's say, in their browser. They can view the results, they can interact with it, but they cannot, let's say, change what you've created. So there is like a kind of like multiple personas. There is like the creator persona or like the engineer persona that creates stuff, and there is like the end user that uses the stuff that you kind of created. Yeah.
Thank you.
I
Now
hope.
it's so
Yep.
clear.
Sure.
Yep. Okay. I believe this answer safe
Atheer,
question.
I have hi Atheer, how are you? It's been a while.
Oh, hi.
Really never chatted,
Hi,
but I
Sina,
have a
how are
couple-
you?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Good,
Good,
amazing.
good.
So I have a couple of questions for you because I remember like when you started your presentation, you talked about artificial lift, which is the ESP, and you said this is going to provide a very good analytics, but that if I connected this program to the real machine that's actually running the well, is that right?
Yes. So we're assuming that the stream that comes from the ESP is connected to a streaming service, and then that streaming service is connected to Spotfire. So Spotfire can connect to a couple of streaming service, and then you can also do analytics on the fly. So as the data come, you can like pass them through like a machine learning model, maybe like do a prediction, and then pass that to the end user.
And thank you. And the most important question right here, since like we are very familiar with oil and gas and we work together, and we know what's all behind the scene when it's come to geoscience, drilling, beacon room, ESP, all of these components, can the Spotfire really provide a prediction about the production and how it's going to be, so I can react instead of just waiting the action and the analytics
Oh
that's
yeah,
coming
yeah,
from
yeah.
the program?
Yeah, we have a couple of use cases from partners and also from customers for production forecast, decline curve analysis, and also for a proactive alarming using, because in Spotfire also we have another component called alerting framework, where you can connect, let's say, an alerting component. So if anything happens, end users can be alerted. So it depends on like how you design your logic. If you design your logic to kind of like listen to early signals and then alert you, yeah, the implementation is very possible in Spotfire, and you can do that using, let's say, the streaming service, the alerting framework in Spotfire, and then you can also like send daily reports, let's say daily health reports about all the equipments and the systems. So to answer your questions,
And as
it's
I
possible.
know, thank you so much for answering this question. And as I know, Atheer, like you guys have a customer success team. Like in terms of like me getting like new license, like if that's temporary or permanent, I'm gonna be like, you know, confined the whole time by someone from your team that will be assisting me, like showing me around, and I can ask all the proper questions about the co-pilot and such, right?
Yes, yeah.
Great, thank you. Appreciate you
Yep.
guys. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you for your question. So I believe no more question. Okay. No more question. So we'll conclude our session for today. Our appreciation again for Mr. Atheer Al-Attar, Principal Data Scientist with the Spotfire. Thanks for SPWLA Committee, Dr. Mohammed Jawad Zain Al-Abidin, and for our attendees. Thank you all, and see you next month.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Have a good night. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank-
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.